Hey, what is going on out there in Twitter land? It's your boy Big Mar, and of course we got my good friend, co-moderator from Black Bitcoin Billionaire, Black Regal. What's going on, Black Regal, man?
Yo, what's going on, family?
Hey,
Just over here vibing. You already know what time it is.
yeah, you already know what time it is, man. Good Sunday. We've been having a lot of conversations as of late around this topic. Uh, this is coming from the fact that I made a post on Twitter, and I'm gonna actually read the actual post for you. Um, it's very interesting because the post really sparked a lot of a lot of interaction, so to speak, and I wasn't even expecting it to do that, right? And what happened was I literally I was just making a statement like I'm glad that a lot of this like toxicity that we were seeing for a while is kind of out of the system. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like it felt like it felt like it was over. You know what I'm saying? Like not over, but it's slowing down. Like the same way we saw it on what do you call it on a Clubhouse. Because at first, let's talk about that really quick. So the topic today is Sunday conversations: Bitcoin toxicity versus Bitcoin love. And we noticed early on Clubhouse, Black Bitcoin Billionaires, which is the largest club around Bitcoin. I'm just saying the world, like you know what I'm saying, from us to all be together like this and us to be actually like a actual organized group.
Right.
Um, we are probably the largest organized group of Bitcoiners in the world right now. And we noticed as soon as we got on Clubhouse and was educating people about Bitcoin, we noticed there was a different element trying to quote unquote educate as well. And a lot of those people took on the moniker of being toxic. And the idea behind toxic Bitcoin maximalism is basically being as angry and causing as much pain as possible so that people are deterred from getting into what they call crap coins, or I call them baby coins, right? Getting
Right.
into alternative cryptocurrencies. And we saw this early on. Do you remember that, Regal, when we saw this on Clubhouse?
Yeah, bro. Like at that time, bro, when we was first getting rolling, like in other spaces, like people really couldn't even come up and get questions in, bro. Like people was really at that time super new. Like the world wasn't as crypto, Bitcoin crazy as it's becoming now. And like people was coming on genuinely asking the questions like what is this? Like what is
Right.
Bitcoin or what is anything else that they heard of in the space? And man, they was getting thrown off stage, getting cussed out, all that, bro. So really when I think about it though, it really helped our initiative though, because we was the exact opposite. And so when people would come in the space that we was in and we was controlling, that's what they was loving. Cause you know what I mean? They got the answers to those questions. You know what I'm saying? With some love, some dignity, respect, all that. That you would expect when you just simply trying to come in and learn something and grab the perspective. So yeah, I definitely remember those days. Though it was crazy,
Right. And you know
and
it's so
and they
funny.
thought it was
Yeah.
cool at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
people really.
but right, it's not even at the time, Regal. That's the whole thing. Like this is prevalent.
I
Like
mean, I
this
don't
is
even keep up with them dudes, so like I wouldn't know. You know what
But
I'm
this
saying?
what I'm saying is I know it's prevalent because I'm looking at a comment based on our post we just made. Loving
Right.
Bitcoin Max is someone who would pump a crap coin for a little profit and close his eyes on obvious scams, right? Because let me explain to y'all what's going on here. So there's a little group that I call the Yellow Belt Maxis, and I don't give them their names. I don't give them any publicity outside of what I decided to name them. You know what I'm saying? So the only way that they'll ever get any publicity from me is to take on the moniker I gave them. So the idea behind them is that they think that they say that they're saving people from scammers. They say they're saving people from people that are what's the other word that are crap coining. I don't want to use that term, but they saving people from baby coins, right?
Right.
But they say they do it from a way of fearing and harassment and memeing people and trying to be as mean as possible. And they're like, "Oh, we're so mean." That's what they always do. Like it's funny to try to like fear people into not messing with all of these other things.
Right.
Well, we tend to take a little bit different approach, right? We tend to take a whole lot different approach when it comes to that because it's not like we literally have a room on like scammers. But the difference is we teach people what the scam looks like. We teach them,
Right.
we show them these are the ways that people get scammed. We have testimonials from people that have been scammed in the past so that we actually try to help protect people, but from a place of education and love, than from a place of us trying to scare people and say, you're going to be scammed. To
Right.
me, that is a completely different notion. And so
Right.
it made me and Black Regal talk today. We had a conversation earlier today, and we began to start riffing on this a little bit because the question is, which is better? Bitcoin toxicity or Bitcoin love? And my approach is this. Bitcoin toxicity is a very high time preference exercise. Basically, in the short term, yes, you may scare people into buying Bitcoin. You may scare them into not looking at other crap coins in the short term. But in the long term, what winds up happening in those types of situations is that the people that you've made afraid of this thing or gotten scared of this thing, what winds up happening in the long term is that a lot of times those same people begin to rebel against what you're talking about and actually start to resent you because you use fear to try to control them and scare them into things. And to me, it's a very white male European type of a tactic because if you go back to the Crusades, that's the same way that they were quote unquote trying to spread the gospel of love, which is a gospel from Jesus Christ that talks about people like we basically talk about Jesus. God loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten son to die for you. Talk about sacrifice, but yet you're going to take that same message into all of the world and say, if you don't believe this, I'm going to kill you, which doesn't sound like love at all,
Right.
right? It don't sound like love at all. So if you think about it, to me, it's very odd. It's like a very odd situation. Imagine if the only way the gospel of Jesus or any gospel, let's say Islam, let's say any religion got spread was through anger and fear. Do you think they would be sustained still going forward, Regal?
I mean, like you kind of touched on it though, bro. Like when you anytime you operate out of fear as a means of control, the minute the people that you've used to attack your fear on come into more knowledge, they automatically resent you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you telling me half truths, or you telling me bits and pieces, and it just comes off as a means to control. And then you even look at it, you can take the religious aspect out of it, right? Look at what happens in our markets every day, every year, every time there's a crash. Every time you have what? You have a fear index and a greed index, right? The fear greed index. What happens with that? While everybody is fearful, that 1% that actually knows what's going on, like that's when they're being greedy. You know what I'm saying? Like the 1% is being greedy while everybody is fearful. You know what I'm saying? When everything is crashing and everything is burning down. So yeah, absolutely, bro. Like that's what it is. And so it makes the people more resentful towards the establishment. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, because okay, you had this hidden information you putting out in the media, you want everybody to be fearful with this or that and the next thing. Meanwhile, we find out years later, so many different backdoor deals that happen. So many people that do insider trading, all these different things. So yeah, fear is definitely the tactic that people use, man, to um it's fear is a tactic that people use and as a substitute for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They substitute knowledge with fear, and they give people that instead of just the information. They give them the fear attached with whatever information that they may give, And so it's the fear that's actually controlling and moving people to decisions and how they live and the way that they decide to make decisions, man. It's a losing, it's really a losing combination in the long run, like you said, because it's like it takes away people's freedom of choice when they really buy into fear. You know what I'm saying? Because it paralyzes you.
Right. It's that's it, man. It literally does, because it's easy to tell somebody that you're gonna die and this is why you
Right,
should do this. But if you can
right,
get somebody to do it because they actually understand what that thing is,
right,
then they'll probably actually not only do the thing because they understand it, but they'll probably spread it because they know how good it is, the thing that they have. That
right.
is that is a completely different thing, right? To me, it's like, and I don't know why I have to argue with people, because again, this is, and it's crazy because I see the parallels so deep, right? I see the parallels between the Crusades and, let's say, the missionaries, so to speak. Like some of the missionaries that have gone out into the world and have done it from a place of love and actually have been killed for like doing things like taking the gospel of Jesus around the world, right? It's like, for me, it's like, I don't understand how you think the foundation of something is going to be solid if it is sitting on the back of fear and control and power. Have you ever seen what happens when you try to put too many constraints on a teenager? When you try to like lock them down, like they are going to rebel against you
Can't
greatly,
do it.
especially if you don't get them to understand why they shouldn't go to the party. If you just like, you ain't going to the party, da 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 da, you don't get them to understand that people are shooting at this party. People, you understand?
Right,
You wind up
but
getting
but
rebellion.
but this the thing though, Lamar. This the this the even sadder thing. What you might not get is rebellion. What you might get is somebody that fold up and quit way early
That is
because they've
true
been
as well.
taught because they've been taught to be afraid. So all they do is sit in that corner and they'll never come out. They got all types of talents, abilities, everything in between, but because they ruled by fear, their decision making has been groomed in fear. They don't know how to step out from any of that stuff, man. So it's like that's an even more tragic case than the latter that you mentioned. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
They say skip
And
it all together.
right, they dial it in because they actually believe that and live by that. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, let's bring some people in. We got Miss Chantel. How you doing, Miss Chantel? Let's bring her in. What's going on, Miss Chantel? What you think about this? We can't hear you. We can't hear you. There
I'm
you go.
enjoying the conversation. I think I've just been kind of just Bitcoin just about every day. And me and my cousin, we discovered everything that's going on with it. We watched it go up, we watched it go down, and we actually learned a little bit something more today. Just I guess just educating ourselves. So I think we kind of
Right.
just done with Satoshi crazy right now. But uh, I'm liking what's going on, and I think I've kind of just been focused on it for the past year. So I mean, I enjoy seeing it go up. When it goes down, I just know now from learning through you guys that okay, I still have my satoshis. So even the price
Right.
go up and down, I still have the satoshi. So
Right.
just learning. I'm just trying to absorb everything I can. So 7 a.m. I'm logged on in the morning, listening. Trying to gain more and more knowledge. So
Oh, that's what's
I am
up. Well,
enjoying it.
nice having you on the
That's
show.
w's up, family.
But yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
I do
we'll
understand
see.
what about fear
Oh,
because trying to get people to understand what's going on. And yeah, I want people to buy Bitcoin and get into it, but we're always kind of reluctant to listen to each other when it comes to certain things, and then we wait to the last minute. We procrastinate. Like, okay, now I want to know when they have to know something more about it instead of being proactive. They're reactive. So
right.
Right.
Yeah, I think our biggest issue is that we found that a lot of people were coming in with actual genuine questions and were getting turned away and cussed out. Right. And that's
Right.
just not our nature. That wasn't our culture. Like we started our rooms up. We wasn't gonna do that off top anyway. We out here trying to get the knowledge out to people. We're not trying to tell people have fun staying poor. Which to me
right.
is the equivalent of, oh, you not gonna believe in what we're saying? Off with your head, right? It's that equivalent. It's like, well, screw you, then I don't know, I don't care no more. Have fun staying poor. You know what
Because
I'm
I did
saying?
end up I ended up in
Like
some room
for
one day and this
me,
guy was just
I
cussing and
understand what people
cussing.
are saying. I understand if it's an individual that you are arguing with or you going back and forth with, and they are just dead set on trying to convince you about XRP, so to speak, right? I can understand you telling them after you going back and forth with them and they've heard both sides and all of that, they still own it. It's like, all right, man, look, you stick with your XRP, man. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. But
Right.
people who are new to the space, which is going to be 98% of the world, right? Because only about 2% of the world even have these assets. It's like, so 98% of the world, those people that are new to it, like to treat them in a way to try to be mean and tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're an idiot for getting into that and all of those kind of things. I just don't think that is good. To me, it's not a good way to create community. And some people ain't trying to create community. They just trying to be right and then fit within a certain group of individuals that want to be mean. It's, to me, it's the mean girl syndrome. Like they
Right.
just want to be the mean girls at school. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring
Right.
Ed Willie up as well. Ed, can you share back your video? I saw you had it on a little earlier. Um,
I'm just
yeah,
getting
so
ready for bed.
yeah, so Ed,
And
no,
Willie got
no,
the Count Dracula up. He ready to go to sleep.
yeah, he
That's
did.
right.
What's up though, Ed Willie? So what you thinking, man? So what do you
Well,
think about the whole Bitcoin toxicity versus Bitcoin love, man?
so honestly, this is the exact reason that I came to the BBB, is that the approach, who the person that turned me on to the BBB was Thomas Hunt, and his approach is very much like yours, where it's like, look, this is an open platform, and I want to educate people. I don't want to turn people away, and if people don't want to hear what I have to say, amen. You know, just that's fine. But I think too that one of the things that I saw in the BBB is like, well, two things. One is examples of your patience with talking to people and working through their problems, and two, like how many times have you had the conversation about like VeChain and things like that? But it's an opportunity for education. When people come up to the stage and they say, well, I've got this coin or that coin or whatever, it becomes an opportunity for education at that point, as opposed to just saying, look, you're wrong, I'm going to shout you down, and I'm just going to be mean, and so either you'll just go away. I think there's a little bit of kind of a there's a there's a cultish mentality. I don't want to say cultish mentality. There's a gang mentality about I want to be a part of this group, and this group is behaving this way. Therefore, if I don't behave this way, then I don't get to be a part of the group. I remember the one time when there was a particular group that was upset with you, Lamar, about NFTs or something like that. And I remember saying, I'll I can guarantee you that there is not one person in that room that's a voice of dissent. And when that is the case, it's just a gang mentality at that point. When no one has the bravery to stand up and go, hey, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me what we're saying. Maybe we should rethink this. No one was brave enough to say that because they knew that they would just get shouted down. So
Right.
I think that one of the things about fear versus love and trying to get people to behave a certain way or something like that is that when you influence behavior through fear, when the fear goes away, the behavior goes away. When you approach it through education and compassion, then when the education and compassion goes away, they have the understanding of why that behavior is important in the first place. And so if you say to somebody, well, you shouldn't smoke, and I'm just gonna point a gun to your head, and I'll pull the trigger if you smoke. And then as soon as the gun goes away, they go, oh, thank God, I gotta smoke again. But if you educate them and you go, okay, it's addictive, it's bad for you, it'll cut your life short, it'll give you cancer, these are the terrible things that'll happen. When you walk away, now that person has something to think about, and they can make an independent choice. They can then process their, and the other thing too is I think that through education and compassion, it means you have faith in people. You have faith that those people are smart, right? And that they can actually make a decision and make a choice for themselves and say, okay, I'm going to process this because yes, there will be a lot of people that come and go through the BBB rooms that decide, you know what, I'm going to buy this other token. I'm going to buy this S coin or whatever. And that's fine. And they can choose to do that. We live in a free world, and God bless, and good for you.
Right.
Um, but we can at least say we have done our best to educate what we think is the important thing. And I think the other half of that is that it shows humility on our part as well to say, look, I'm not going to shout you down and be angry at you because maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right about everything. Maybe I'm wrong. And if you come up to the stage and you say you're right about this, and I say I think I'm right and you're wrong, and we can agree to disagree and walk away friends. I'm okay with that. So I think approaching things with compassion and education is really just the way to go. It's the way to be in the world because the world is not a nice place without doing that. I don't want to live in the world where everybody's a toxic maximalist. I mean, what if everybody were a toxic maximalist about everything, the car they drive and the city they live in and the team that they root for? And it's just like that's not a world I want to be in. So
Right.
yeah, so that's I guess that's my vote on how I think we should approach Bitcoin for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Miss Cheryl up. I'm gonna drop you down real quick. Ed Willie. I'm gonna bring Miss Cheryl up. But before we get Miss
That's
Cheryl
good
going,
stuff, Edwin.
let's get some folks over on Clubhouse. I know there's some people on Clubhouse on stage. Um, so let's see who's up there. Who did anybody on Clubhouse want to say anything? Y'all have anything that y'all wanted to add to the conversation? I know some few people on stage. If you're in Clubhouse and you can hear us, um, you know,
We can hear you, Lamar.
yeah. If you can, okay. Did you want to add there? If you want to add, if not, then I'll go back over to Miss Cheryl.
Yeah, no, you can let her go ahead. I'm just relaxing right now. I can't speak for anybody else.
Okay. Well, what's going on, Miss Cheryl? How you doing? What are you thinking? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Me now?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, these things are shot. Anyway, you know what? I just want to ditto off of Ed Willie. Um, teach in love builds confidence, but when you uh, pursue, you know, trying to seduce people in fear, it produces doubt and long lasting doubt. And it doesn't matter what it is. So when it comes to Bitcoin, always, I think it's just better to use the love and compassion. It's the only way to solidify that person is going to get, the nourishment the real nourishment they need. So that's just my 2 cents or
Well,
my Satoshi.
well, thank you, Miss Cheryl. We appreciate it. We appreciate that. Yeah, I think he's a really great comments. Ed Willie, Miss Cheryl, Chantel. I appreciate y'all joining in the broadcast. And I think one of the things that is very interesting to me is that when you come from a place of love, there is no reason to harass nobody. Like you gotta think to
You're
yourself,
right.
why are
You're
you
right.
jumping in harassing people? Like, why do you feel the
Right.
need to keep following people around? Because these are the things that I've heard when we talk about love. That people are soft. That's one thing that I've heard, Black Regal. The individuals are soft because they talk about love, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you got a whole group of people that are talking about like trying to be toxic. Not a whole group, but it's a small group, but they're in a group. And then you got one individual that is willing to stand up against them. To me, back where I come from, it's like soft ain't about going to get a gang of people. It's about saying things
Right.
that can, right? So it's weird to me that you have this kind of like irony behind the softness of something when you have to realize that there are movements that have come and gone, and the ones that have come to lead with fear. What winds up happening is that somebody at some point the people get tired of it, like dictatorships, dictators fall all the time, right?
Right.
Like those types of things wind up falling because number one, you've taught out of fear and out of fear and hatred. So therefore, when you get in power, there's going to be somebody who feels like the only way I can take power from you is through fear and hatred, right? That's how it works. Because that's what you train the entire populace to understand. So what happens? Here comes the general from the army that you thought you controlled. He's going to take it over, have a military coup, and he becomes a new dictator, right? But when you come from a place of love, it changes it because that's about inspiration and people are inspired to move forward. So I would love to hear some more comments on this because I didn't even realize we've been going already for almost a half an hour, Regal.
Right, bro. That's facts though, man. Like just a few statements, bro, and we done cleared a whole lot of ground.
Yeah, man.
But it's
Yeah,
like that's true though, man. Like real doing things out of love, like it empowers people.
right.
Like you know what I'm saying? It gives people the information to be sound individuals in their own right, and not have to lean on someone else for a level of dependence. And that's what people that like to wield fear. That's what they like about it, is it creates an element of dependence. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
necessity for yourself. Like you can really create that with fear, putting that on people, because then you know what I mean, based on their understanding, if their only understandings are coming from you and this scope of fear that you are giving out to them, then you know what I'm saying, the solution they feel like is with you also. You know what
Ooh,
I'm saying? So it's like
powerful.
that's what creates the resentment as well. You know what I'm saying? Because when they find out the facts, when they find out what, and when they get on the other side of fear with knowledge, then you know what I mean. That's the resentment factor. Like you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
It's like this dude.
doing things with love, man, that's the way to go.
Yeah, it's that's powerful what you said because with fear, it's tied to the individual, and the moment that
Right.
individual is gone, the behavior's gone. Like you said, like I think Ed Willie said that earlier.
Yeah, Willie said that. Yeah.
So Ed Willie said it earlier. That's very interesting because and I don't know why because I was listening to Eric Weinstein. That's what made me really talk about this because on my post somebody said, "So what do you think about Eric Weinstein and Breedlove were talking about?" And I was like, I went and listened to it, and Eric Weinstein said, "Well, don't you think some of that pain is what keeps a lot of this stuff in line by coming with a certain amount of pain?" But I'm like, I'd rather have listen. It's Game of Thrones. I'd rather have people follow me like Khaleesi than to have people follow you like the slave masters that Khaleesi overturned. Because as soon as
Right.
they got an opportunity,
Right. Right.
think about it. As soon as they
They
got a
gonna get
chance,
you. They gonna
yeah,
get you.
they go exactly. Soon as they had an opportunity to get the slave masters, they said off with their heads. Like
It's
they didn't
around.
right. But with Khaleesi, because she freed them, she gave them love. Like, and I'm using all of these examples just to try to give references. And I know that's a movie, but that's how it works. Those people were down with her because she gave them something. She literally poured into them and didn't force them to do something they good. Because us as humans, all of us as human beings, we strive internally to be free, regardless if you
Right.
believe that or not. Internally, we know that it is not right for us to be bound. Little kids
Facts.
I
know it
had a problem
immediately.
too, Big Mar.
Yeah, hold on. Who's that? Who's that? Somebody open. We got somebody up
D
now.
Lock. D Lock.
Yeah, go ahead, D Lock. What's up, man?
I have a problem with some of these NFT groups.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And in my opinion, these moderators are the only one that's making money. The folks in the room don't know. They ain't making no money, but the moderators make money. And then you say something
Hmm.
like Ed Willie said, it's like it's a game. If you got something to say, they get upset with you. But the majority of these people in these NFT rooms don't know how to make no money in no damn NFT. And the only one that make money is the damn moderators. And it's a hustle. I can smell a hustle when I see a hustle. And you know I'm telling the truth.
Right,
That's what I had to say.
but my question is this though, because this is because me and Rigo we sitting over smiling because like even in those rooms, let's get to the fear and love in that. A lot of
Right.
times they will it's FOMO. They conjure up a bunch of FOMO.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? They make people believe they're
Yep.
gonna miss out. If they don't jump in on it, they're gonna miss out, even though they were the ones already in it at the beginning. Like, think about that. They got into it. They bought whatever it was that they trying to push. They bought a bunch of it really cheaply, and then they go and start a group up and tell people, "You better get it. You better get it. You better get it." And then when they get it, that person drops all of that on their head and takes their money from them and gives them. Think about it. I say this all the time. If something is extremely valuable and they telling you that something is valuable, why would they give you it for whatever you have? Why would I
That's
trade?
what I be saying.
Why would I
That's what
trade
I
it?
say.
If
Yep.
something, if,
You're
if
right.
what I have in my hand is more valuable than what you have, but I'm telling you this thing is so valuable, then why am I trying to give it to you for what you have that's supposed to be less value than what I have in my hand, right? So it's like I can understand if it's a burger or something. To me, I can't eat 100 burgers. You understand what I'm saying? But I can sell 100 burgers to 100 people that are hungry. That's different. But if you're talking about I have this gold rock or I have this NFT or whatever, and I'm going to give it to you because it's so valuable, and I'm going to take your money for it, and there's never a chance of me coming back and buying it back from you. Come on, man. It don't make sense. So you just got to be very
Yep.
careful about all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And have you noticed how they prey on women? Ooh, they prey on women
How
so
they
bad.
prey on men.
Man,
They
I
prey on
think honestly, bro, I
They
think
really
NFTs. It all comes
go
down
ahead.
to the use case of it, bro. Like I can't even say all of them are bad or useless or whatever the case is. I give you an example. CJ, right? For example, like the way he uses his. So I think the first 100 customers of the Smart Guy clothing that he put out, the line he put out, right? All 100 of those people got NFTs, which
yeah,
essentially was a lifetime coupon for his services. That was a lifetime discount for his services attached to owning that NFT. You know what I'm saying? That's 20% off of
man.
like any truck, bro. Like, bro, CPA 20% off. Like, imagine getting audited and you getting 20% off that audit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And
it's like
people,
he created the intrinsic value in the service and attached it to the NFT. So it really comes down to like how you using it. I ain't talking about like, you know what I'm saying, baby dolphin fin tokens or like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying, but I mean like you can create value with it, but it's all in the individual, the
yeah.
creator too.
And why can't this stuff just be stuff? It's
Right.
just,
Like
it's
just
just,
call it what it is too.
yeah. It's just like your boy CJ, the smart guy. He could have did that with an actual coupon, but he just
Right.
wanted to have fun and use whatever he used. You know what I'm saying? Like, to
Right.
me, and it's not like, think about it. He's telling you to buy the T-shirt. You wasn't buying the NFT. He just gave you the NFT thing. He wasn't telling you the T-shirt's gonna give you some kind of value, right? And then he
Right.
throws the NFT to you just so he can use it for accounting purposes. It's funny, so he can keep track of who has it.
Right.
That's it. I mean,
Right.
other than that,
But
like,
then, but it's sellable to other people. So it's like if I got audited and I don't have one, like it would be in my best interest to try to buy one from somebody. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Be like, look, let me go get 20% off real quick.
Right.
And see,
So I thought that
Lamar, I
was
seen
dope,
some
man.
more stuff.
Yo, what's up,
I
D
seen
Lock?
some more stuff. I peeped game on that. The hippos. I was like, wow,
The
he got all
hippos.
these. Yeah, he was. Ooh, I was like, I just throw it on the floor. How I feel about it.
What are
I
hip?
knew
What
it
are the
was a
hip? What are
hustle.
you talking about? What are hippos? Like, what are you talking about?
NFT caused some hippos. All these folks had bought these
Oh
hippos,
man, you done made Regal. What happened to Regal? Regal gone.
and I just seen it. I said they did the hustle when that Shiba coin was out, and certain people made money, and this and that. And then all of a sudden, some hippos came out, and these are the fucking racist ass pictures I've ever seen. And I'm like, and y'all buying this? I can't believe it. Gold teeth, gold chains, afros, and all this other stuff. I'm like, really? Okay. That was just my opinion.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. Well,
Hey
listen.
Lamar,
Yeah.
Lamar. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? This is Herman.
Well, hold on real quick, Herman. Hold on. I gotta go close this. The broadcast is gone
Oh,
because I don't know what happened. So we still on live. I'm still live in Clubhouse. So everybody out there watching the Sunday conversation, I don't know what happened. I think my man Regal actually his phone died because I seen him. He looked to the side like, oh, I think his phone died on him. So here he goes. He's popping back in. Okay, he got it. He probably got it plugged back up. Did your phone die, man?
Yeah, my phone died.
I saw you look to the side, and then it was like, "Toop." So, but but yeah, okay, we good then. We good. But yeah, go ahead, Herman. What's going on, man?
hey, nothing much. What's up, Black Regal? Y'all good?
Yeah, we
What up,
good, bro.
family? I'm good, bro.
All right. Hey, I got a couple of words, man. Love always endure, right?
Yeah.
Love always
Facts.
endure, and fear flees. But you running a program. You know the difference between a campaign and a program, right, Lamar?
No, you got to hit me the game.
Okay, a campaign is for short term. A
Okay.
program is long term. For example, you may run for senator. That's a short period of time, but Social Security is a long time program, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're doing in the BBB, right? Y'all are giving the information, and it's going to be around for a lifetime. It's okay to, the way I like the way you guys live. I've been in the crypto market space for about since 2013, 14, and the way you teach it, I like it. That's the way I go about growing my business. For is just learning. Let people learn, but if you teach people that the elements, the essentials of how to evaluate different projects, they will already know that Bitcoin
Is the best.
is the
Facts.
best. And what I tell people when they tell me about a coin, I ask them a couple of questions: what exchange is it on? And then how do you purchase it? And then if they tell me it's not on the exchange and you purchase it with dollars, I first look at them kind of crazy. But Bitcoin is the standard. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, man. Keep doing what you guys doing. That's why I started following you here in the last month. I like what you're doing, and I will continue to. And also, any of my associates, I will tell them the same. So that's what
Well,
we're on
thank you,
here.
man. Listen, you know what? You brought up something that I wanted to get to, and you just reminded me. Like, we do believe in just giving the information. Because part of love is understanding that people having choice is a big thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Herman, I think we got a echo coming from you, Doc.
Okay,
You might,
I'm gonna be there.
yeah, you might have to mute up real quick. Yeah, yeah. Um, but no, I'm saying like giving people the opportunity to make their own decision for themselves is part of what love is. That free will, that's love. People say this all the time when I be talking about like God, right? They like, Lamar, if God is so perfect, why don't he just make you do everything that's right? And it's like, is that love? Right? He give you the opportunity to make the decision for yourself. So that's what love is. It's freedom, man. Like freedom, love, all that stuff on the same side of the spectrum. Like all of that stuff over here. The opposite of those, like fear, right? Like hatred, all of that stuff's on the other side. So when I see people who are clearly trying to use the other side of the tactics, I got to speak up about it because I already understand which side I'm fighting for. If you understand what I'm saying. I know what side I'm fighting for. I know what side I'm on. And I also understand that is what the whole point of all of this is, man. Is that as we continue to share and spread love, love becomes seeds that grow into more love. Period.
One is cyclical and one is linear.
Y'all
So
say that,
the
Shauna.
tox the toxic side is the cyclical side. They can only say but so much before it has to be regenerated into more hate, more fear, more anger. But when you're leading from the love part, that's linear. So there's growth involved there. You're pushing people into different dimensions, which is more linear.
And
And that's the
listen,
way.
Miss Shauna, you know I don't like really talking about numbers like that for real, except when we have to tell people that we big. But what's the difference between the little group of yellow belt maxis that get together, little 10, 12 people, and Black Bitcoin billionaire?
You mean in terms of membership?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I will keep your integrity and say it is a significant and exponential difference.
Exactly. And every time I see the growth of something, it always starts with the seed of giving. because nobody ask anybody to give anything when we first got on Black Bitcoin Billionaire. We just were doing it, and we still do it to this day. People still give Bitcoin to new people. And what I try to explain to a lot of these yellow belts who haven't been around as long as I have, when I first got in Bitcoin, see, they don't realize we here because of people that gave. There were people who basically, like you even heard Max Kaiser say he was trying to give Alex Jones 10,000 Bitcoin and he lost them. 10,000. This is the kind of spirit that started off this whole entire thing, was the fact that people were trying to give, help each other. They would show you how to set up a wallet. People were just like in that vein. You understand what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, a lot of these toxic maximalists have come from being burnt by the ICO craze. And so they got, again, think about this. They got tricked into these ICOs through FOMO, through fear of missing out. And then when it all hit the fan, they kept that same fear and energy and said, all of you, I hate all of these ICOs over here because the only thing that worked for me is Bitcoin. Instead of realizing that all they have to do now is be like, that's in the past. I got screwed up on that. Now this thing that I have is a good thing. And then go from the fact that it's a good thing. Why would you bring your negativity from the nasty stuff back over to something that's been positive in your life? That don't make sense to me. What you think about that, Regal?
I mean, that's real, man. Miss Shauna hit out some amazing points, but like that, bro. Like when people get burned based on their decision making, and then based on what they did, like you can't cast or try to project on other people either. Like you just might have been out here wilding. You know what I'm saying? And you treating everything like the casino. Like so now, since you was out here reckless, you running and telling everybody else about, you know what I mean, like all this other stuff. But really, you could just be giving them the education and the information. You know what I'm saying about like why Bitcoin, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even compare the two, like everything else in Bitcoin. And I was telling you this earlier because like Bitcoin is the only thing that's decentralized, that's not ran by an organization or a group of people or whatever, what have you. Like it's the only thing that can literally be money, like decentralized peer-to-peer money. It's the only thing that can be that with integrity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things can pretend to be that or pretend to be a lot of things, but Bitcoin is the only thing that can be money out here that's not controlled by an organization. You muted, bro. I
Right.
can't hear
I'm
you.
over on mute. Yeah. Listen, this is what's so funny. I'm over here trying to explain to people, if you think that Bitcoin is the coldest, the dopest, the realest money out here on the planet, then why do you need to fight so hard against everything else? If it's
Bro,
automatically going, like,
exactly.
if you just explain to people that it is the dopest and the realest and why it is, then other people are gonna see it for what it is and not gonna fool with nothing else. No way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They gonna look at it
Like,
like, hey, I gotta get my gold up. I gotta get my
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's
right.
how you look at it. Like
It's like,
it's
look,
it's not like you trying to compare it and trying to make Bitcoin compete with, you know what I'm saying, some digital pictures and all. Like you got the game twisted. Like that's
right,
where you are. Like this is money, bro. We're not talking about,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about sketches and NFTs and like no, and there's no diss to any of that stuff, but it's not even the same. We talking about like money,
right.
like
It ain't even close.
right. It's not the
It's
same thing.
cash. It's cash. And they talk about these ugly ass pictures.
Right. Here's the thing. Listen. I know for a fact my wife is cold blooded. That's how I feel about her. Right. I don't have to go out here and down every other woman to make my wife cold blooded. If you know what I'm saying, I
Big
don't have to
fact.
run around here. You dig me? Like anybody who got a woman who got their wife, they know. I'm not having to walk around here and be like, oh, she ain't nothing. She ain't. Because I'm like, I'm secure in the fact that the woman that is
Everybody
with me
can
is
look.
not as
Everybody can
cold.
be nice out here, but Everybody can be nice out here,
But they
but I
can't
got
be
that
my
one.
wife.
You feel
I
me?
got that one
I got that
exactly.
one.
I don't need. What do I need to fight somebody for?
I'm
Why do I
good
need to?
money.
I'm good money.
I
Like let me
got
just
good money.
right. Let me just go chill somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I
And if somebody
but
asks me about my wife, what do I say? Oh, she's amazing. She's smart. She's beautiful. She's very strong. She's ride or die. I give her the qualities of my wife. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
Like that's it. Like I ain't got to sit here and go, well, listen, my wife's over here. You shouldn't be messing with all of these other women. It's like, no, bro, do it. Listen,
right,
do what you want to do, man. Understand I know what's good. And that's I know what's good for me because I understand what's good for me. Once you get to understand, it ain't about believing in Bitcoin. It's about understanding Bitcoin. It's not about belief. It's about understanding it. Because once you understand it, you'll look out and realize the rest of the stuff ain't even worth it like that. You know what I'm saying?
right. It's a whole
That's why
different. It's
you
a
leave
whole
all the
different.
other ones alone and you keep the dime. You keep the
Right.
dime, who is your wife. You left
Right.
all that other stuff alone because you know what you got. Them other ones, they all had issues.
Right.
Just like these coins or NFTs. They had
Right.
issues.
Right.
We read the white papers on them.
Right, man. Right, man. Well, listen, what time is it? Ready? I mean, Regal. I think we
Man,
getting
I
close
don't
to
even know.
47,
We
about the
46
47-minute
minutes
mark.
in.
Yeah. So listen, this is what we're gonna do. I see you, Donnell, live from New York. I need to make sure I'm hitting up the people over here on D. Lewis said God gave us free will.
God gave us free
Um,
will.
yeah,
Honestly, all
LP
the
Knight.
smart contract exploits, rug pulls steered me back to Bitcoin. Last year, I was dabbling in all kinds of L1
L1 crypto.
crypto and tokens.
He said it's basically love versus fire and brimstone.
Facts.
He said, I know about Bitcoin for a few years now, but now how do you make money mining? Is there a startup? They asked that question. It's okay. Listen, I've had a great time today, Regal. This is a good conversation. Thank y'all, everybody on Clubhouse for chiming in. D Lock, Shauna, thank y'all for y'all's information. I'm about to close the actual visual representation, but we're gonna open this up like a regular Clubhouse room right after that. Just it's already open, so if y'all out there on the internet watching this on YouTube, hop over in Clubhouse, come to the Black Bitcoin Billionaire room. But this episode was brought to you by. Let me tell you. Hold on. This episode was brought to you by the first black owned. What did it say? The first black owned DCA wallet, the Black Wall Street
You
wallet.
heard?
Make sure y'all check out the Black Wall Street wallet, a wallet that was created by Hill Harper and our very own Miss Naja Roberts. They are
Nigel
both
Roberts.
they're both working with the Black Wall Street wallet. Make sure y'all go check that out. Um, The Black Wall Street wallet. It's at theblackwallstreet.com. Theblackwallstreet.com. And with that
Shout
said,
out
man,
to my brother Hill Harper and Nigel Roberts.
yeah, with
Doing
that
some
said,
awesome
man,
stuff over there.
appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all follow Black Regal at Black Regal AB. And also Big Mar at Big Mar. Make sure you follow both of us. I'll remove the things that you can see it. Oh, Black Regal gonna have his tag up there, but at
Oh
BIGMAR.
yeah, I'm slipping. I gotta add that. I gotta do it
And
like
Black
that next time.
Yeah, Black Regal at Black Regal AB on Twitter.
Yeah,
We'll see
yeah.
y'all later, man. Like I always say, live, love, love life. If you live love, you'll love your life. And we coming on over to Clubhouse. See y'all later.